Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. I have posted what if godlike Naruto went to the Marvel world, but this one's gonna be different. The DC world, guys, yes. What if godlike Naruto went to the DC world? With all the famous characters, Superman, Batman, Supergirl and all of them, guys. This Naruto will be the one that has finished the 4th Great Shinobi War, yes. Who has all access to the power of Kurama. And others. Just let you guys know that this Naruto was raised differently. He was taken in by Kakashi at a very young age and trained. So expect him to be a lot stronger than the original. You guys just have to see and enjoy, guys. So sit back, relax and watch Naruto try to explore a new world that he has no idea about. New people, new friends, and also new threats. Some of them being extremely powerful. However, Naruto Uzumaki was one to never give up, so let's see what he can do against these foes. So without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new series? Begin now, guys. Destruction, devastation, depression. These are the final words of a Shinobi nation. A world flung into chaos of war 4 times over. However, this final war, the War of the Dam, it destroyed everything. Villages leveled, dead and decaying bodies everywhere. There was only a man left. Blonde hair and blue eyes. Looking towards the emptiness. His fist clenched. If only I had been better. As he gazed out towards the destruction that lay before him. Friends that banded together to fight the Jubi. You did your best, Naruto. It was just more than expected. The Jubi wasn't a mere tail beast. It was a Shinigami will of death. The great beast Kurama told him. Just like you, they gave everything to protect their homes. In the end, it just wasn't enough. Naruto collapsed down to his knees, looking towards the bodies that lay all over. As the pain inside of him was overwhelming. I hate to rain on our pity party, said Kurama, but it's time to move on. Naruto would have glared at the tail beast inside of him, but his mind was currently outside. What the hell am I supposed to move on to, said Naruto. Everything is gone and everyone is dead. You stupid fuzzball, said Naruto. Kurama scoffed at the insult. What did I tell you when you were given full access to my chakra? When your father was brought back with Edo Tensei? Abandon your fear and look forward. Move forward and never stop. You will age if you pull back. You will die if you hesitate. There's always more to do, fool. I have lived 1,000 lifetimes and I shall live 1,000 more. Naruto sighed as he looked up to the heavens. Where exactly are we gonna move on to? Naruto looked up towards a fox inside the cage. As he was in his mindscape, the fox in front of him, no longer bound. The fox had a smirk on his face. As Naruto didn't like that smirk, he then proceeded to slam his hands together, confusing the blonde. The whole room started to light up red. What are you doing? However, the fox did not answer him. Chakra exploded out of it and swirled. It slammed into Naruto in the outside world. The air itself started to vibrate. The world started to twist. Something tore open as Naruto was thrown. Time skip. Waking up after chakra exhaustion is never a fun thing. Your body ache, your mind fuzzy, and trying to move is almost torture. Naruto is no stranger to chakra overload. It had become almost a regular thing near the end of the war. As Naruto tried to open his eyes, but the sunlight slammed right into them, so he had to close them once again until his eyes properly adjust. What the hell, Kurama? Where are we? Said Naruto. But the fox was really silent. Naruto finally adjusted to the influx of light. As there was a sign in front of him, Naruto scratched the back of his head confused, as he could not read the letters on it. What's going on? What are those words? Said Naruto. Unknown to him, it said, "Welcome to Smallville." Naruto then heard the fox starting to laugh, like he was actually mocking him. Naruto sighed as he turned his gaze looking around, as he saw a town in the far distance. The town itself was just a few distance away. As Naruto leaped up to the top of the sign before, he jumped off, using his impressive speed to make his way. "Since you think it's fun to mock me at this moment, I'll try to find out what's going on myself," said Naruto, as he ended up hopping onto a building and jumping from one to another, out of the people's view. As Naruto noticed that people were here, so he was no longer in the elemental nation. He still had no idea what the fox did. Not to mention they spoke and Naruto couldn't understand what they say, nor could he read the language that they wrote all over. He also saw some strange metal boxes that were moving, and they were making a loud noise as they did so, with his enhanced hearing, well to him, as people were sitting inside of them, more than one sometimes. I'm in another world, aren't I?" said Naruto. "Finally, I was just about to question your intelligence even more," the fox said. "However, not just another world, another reality altogether. Before you ask, remember, I'm a being of pure chakra. In our world, chakra was the life essence of everything, even reality itself. In this place, there is no shinobis, no jubi, a place where you can move forward and try to be something once again." Naruto gave a sad smile as his home was gone. There was nothing left but a barren waste and decay. "First step is learning the language and history, I guess," said Naruto. "Do you have any idea where we are?" said Naruto. "Look, I got you here. The rest is for you to find out," the fox said. Naruto sighed as he looked around. Now he understood why the fox was so adamant on moving on, as Naruto pulled out a scroll. The good thing that he always had his things packed and ready. As Naruto unsealed civilian clothing that he had on him, a simple pair of khaki cargo pants, black muscle shirt, a light multi-purpose blue jacket, and basic shinobi sandals. As Naruto quickly undressed and redressed, he then looked towards his shinobi uniform, maybe the last time he will ever wear it. He had most of it since day one when Kakashi had taken him in. That had surely changed his life a lot. As Naruto glanced up to the heavens, maybe things can be different here. He removed his Konoha headband. Naruto reached up and removed the face mask that he was wearing, that matches Sensei's. It was connected to a skin-tight, chakra armor shirt, removing his belt with all of his scrolls and tools on it, his black pants, and finally the coat of his father. The coat that had struck fear into the hearts of all enemy shinobis. "I will never forget any of you, I promise. But I have to find a new way to live. Otherwise, it will all consume me," said Naruto, knowing that if he didn't at least try, there would be no moving on for him. As he sealed his uniform up in a scroll that once held his civilian clothing, he stuffed it into one of the mid-level pockets inside of his jacket. As he hopped off the roof into an abandoned alleyway. Now, time to find a library, he thought to himself, as Naruto took in the sights as he went, trying to find what he was looking for. As he was keeping an eye out for any story that might perk his interest. A few did, but the problem was, he did not know the language or he didn't think his money would be any good there. Looking around and not paying attention, he ran right into someone, completely knocking them down. Upon realizing what he did, he started to quickly apologize as he offered the person a hand. "I know you can't understand a word I'm saying, but I'm so sorry. I wasn't really paying attention to where I was going," said Naruto. But when he saw who he knocked down, his cheeks became a bit red. The downed person was a woman his age, platinum blonde hair, beautiful, pale blue eyes, wearing shorts, blue jean shorts, and a white tank top. Moments earlier, Kara Kent. She decided to go into town after just getting back from tower duty with the league, as she needs some R&R. The farm that her adoptive aunt and uncle own seemed like the perfect place. Jonathan Kent, known to everyone in Smallville as Pop, needed a few things from town, and she was more than happy to help. Grabbing the truck keys while he was working the farm, she headed into town. Finding what he needed took very little time. The town was sometimes very small for her, given who she was. However, she got lost in her own thoughts, and she ended up walking right into someone not paying attention. This person, however, was solid as a rock, considering that he managed to knock her down by mistake as she glanced up. But what she saw surprised her. A gorgeous blonde hair, blue eye, whisker marks on his face young man. As he was offering her hand, he spoke in a language that she assumed was some form of Asia. She took the offered hand as he helped her up. He asked something as she raised an eyebrow. On the off chance that you do understand me, do you know where the library is? Naruto asked. She tilted her head to the side. Great, she doesn't understand me, said Naruto. What exactly do you want? She said. As Naruto couldn't understand what she was saying, he raised his hand as he started to do gestures with his hand that looked rather goofy. God, I hope this works and doesn't make me look like an idiot, Naruto thought. He used his hands to draw a building in the air. Then he acted like he was reading a book. When she saw him pretend to read a book, she understood. Follow me, she said. He didn't understand, so she pointed at her and told him to come. Naruto understood that as he walked with her. Naruto was walking behind her. His trip with Pervy Sage in his homeland had changed him. Well, those were a long couple of years. And it had turned Naruto into an admirer of the female form, just like his former sensei as well. Yes, there was no doubt in that. Supergirl could feel him looking at her from behind, as she knew that Clark, if he found out about this, he would give her an earful, and she knew that it was wrong, but she didn't know why. She couldn't help herself as she started to move with a bit more wiggling her step, moving her hips. She couldn't see him, but she could tell that he was having a reaction behind her as they finally arrived towards the library. As he bowed politely to her, she gave him a smile as she waved politely. As she made her way off, Barbara is gonna be so jealous, she thought, as she made her way quickly. Once Naruto was in front of the library, he stood there before he looked around as he jumped up to the roof and moved to the alley. Old habits die hard, Kurama thought, as the kid was waiting for the clothes to break in. I guess they do, said Naruto, along with the memories that go with them. Meanwhile, Kara got back with a slight smile on her face, dropping her stuff off along with the things for Pop. She used her super speed to get back, as she grabbed her phone and started to call Barb, with a big smirk on her face. What's up, Kara? The other young super female asks. Oh, not much, but you wouldn't believe what happened today. Kara bragged. Oh? Did you save the world in Little Old Kansas? Barbara asks, teasing her blonde friend. As Kara simply laughed at her slide at her home. Nope, even better. 6 feet tall. At least. Sun-kissed blonde hair you can see for miles. Deep ocean blue eyes. And 3 of the cutest whisker birthmarks on each of his cheek. Muscles that look yummy enough to eat, and a smile, I swear, would light up the night. Damn girl, sounds dreamy. What is his name? Barbara asks. As Kara started to laugh as she told her how they ran into each other. And you didn't get his name, Barbara said, as her friend neglected to say that part. He might have given it, but it's not like I could understand him if he did. Yeah, that's true, but hopefully he sticks around and you get to meet him again. Barbara then released a long sigh. Bat signal? Yeah, I'll talk to you later, said Barbara as she hung up the phone. As Kara was used to by now, when the bat signal was showing, it was all hands on deck in Gotham. Time skip. Breaking into the library was really easy. Using clones to comb through the books were easy as well. As Naruto was able to figure out what he was speaking was Japanese. That is what it was called here. As Naruto had clones after clones read and dispel until he had a general knowledge of the language. He then started to move towards different histories and different language. Naruto learned that this world also possessed computers, but they were far more advanced than the ones that he had back at the Elemental Nation. They only had computers for civilian uses and medical uses, but these could do many more things. As Naruto created more to browse the web, finding and reading everything they could. It turns out he needs something called a ID. So he made his way towards what is known as a DMV. Arriving towards that location, Naruto found a badge on the table. Well, breaking in was pretty easy as well. His ID wasn't a good one, it wouldn't pass any high-up tests if it was scanned by any real top-notch people, but it would pass for a bank in this world. It turns out this world used paper instead of gold. Gold was precious here, as Naruto figured that he wouldn't have to get a crazy job to pay his way, seeing that his money was worth a lot here. Just something to keep him busy and keep people's suspicions off him. However, Naruto was exhausted by he was done. Having clones this spell and having information being pumped into your mind over and over and over. Yeah, it was mentally challenging. Naruto went to the top of the DMV. as he found a secluded place and lie there. This place is filled with natural chakra, but I'm not sure if their forces can sense it being used. Naruto thought to himself as he glanced up towards the heavens. Before he went, he had to dispel all the clones, because if he had let them go through the night, the backlash of tomorrow would be crazy. 10 by 10, Naruto dispelled them, feeling the headache getting worse, as he ended up falling asleep with a migraine. Having these memories in your mind was a lot better than the flashbacks that he got to the Elemental Nation though, as he remembered what Kakashi told him a long time ago. The mind and soul can only handle so much bloodshed before it reminds us what we truly are. As he fell asleep. Time skip. The sun peeked over the horizon, waking up the blonde on the rooftop. As Naruto sat up and stretched, there was no one around him. It seems like it was rather early. Getting up, Naruto scanned the place, as he ended up finding a bank. You would figure that the bank would be more protected than just a couple of tellers and a local sheriff. As Naruto landed on the roof and unsealed one of his bank packs, even after saving the village from pain, he did not keep his money in the bank. Instead, he kept it with him, sealing a scroll on his arm, in what he called his bank pack. This place was just a small town, so there wasn't much crime going on, so he could understand why there wasn't much dead security. As Naruto sat on the roof watching people going about their life, walking open stores, kids running around, as they were playing what he believed was superhero, just like the kids back at home playing ninjas. Kids playing ninja, or children robbed of their innocence, Kurama said. Naruto's past has always been a touchy subject, as he once said our world was always in some state of chaos, and we needed soldiers. Always, said Naruto. Kurama sighed as he spoke, then what do the soldier that finally find peace do? Naruto glanced up to the heavens. I guess live. Live for them all, the ones who could not. Enjoy a peace that none of them could. Maybe time will tell where I can find myself in this world. Time indeed will tell, but are you sure that you honor your fallen friend memories by living in peace? Or would you better honor it by fighting for them? No, they fought for peace, said Naruto. If I am all that is left, I must find the peace that they were looking for. Kurama let that argument go for now, but he did not believe that Naruto was as convinced as he tried to let himself be. The bank doors finally opened as Naruto jumped off down to the corner and made his way around. As he made his way straight towards the sign that said new accounts, as he politely knocked. How may I help you today, young man? An older gentleman sat behind the desk in a business suit. I need to open an account and do a currency exchange, said Naruto. He was sure that he got the language thing down. As he was sure when the man nodded and gestured for him to take a seat, as he asked for Naruto ID and current address. Naruto grabbed his ID and mentioned that he just got into town. Sir, I'm sorry, but we must have an address on file to create a record. Standard policy, I'm afraid. As Naruto sighed, well, can I at least get a currency trade? The man nodded as he handed the ID back, as he brought up some paperwork. What kind of currency will you be trading today, Mr. Urzaki? It's Uzumaki, and it's gold that I've acquired doing my work, said Naruto. The man paused, he raised an eyebrow. Gold? Why would someone pay you in gold? As Naruto already expected this, I travel a lot in recent Asian countries. They all have different currency, however, gold, it spends anywhere. For the odd jobs I perform, I requested to be paid in gold. Nodding, as he answered, the man drew up some paperwork before he called the local pawn shop. Mr. Uzumaki. Naruto faced palm at the man getting his name wrong once again. I apologize, but we do not have a precious metal attendant here, so the pawn shop will send over someone to verify the amount and the transfer. As the man handed Naruto paperwork and directed him what to fill out. Now I assume since you don't have an address, you don't have a phone, correct? Naruto nodded. Does that mean I can't get the exchange done, he said. No, not at all, Mr. Uzuki. Naruto faced palm once again. We have your photo on file here showing that you're on a temporary license. Should the gold in fact turn out to be stolen later, the authorities will have your picture. Naruto simply shrugged. It's not like it was stolen. But he realized that everything worked out fine with the ID thing. It didn't take long for someone to arrive. Ah, Mr. Smith, it's a pleasure to see you again. The bank teller spoke. A younger man with an apron and a magnifying glass over one eye walked in. You too, Mr. Bagwell. How's the heart holding up? The pawn shop owner said. Much better now that I'm on my meds. The reason I call you here is because I need you to verify these gold this young man possessed. As Smith turned towards Naruto. Well, young fella, he said, what you got for me? As Naruto placed the finished paperwork on the desk before he pulled out a small row of Ryu gold coins. As Smith carefully go over them, checking it with the tool that was over his eye, as Naruto watched the glass. Oh my word, these are authentic Japanese Ryu coins. Smith snapped his head up to Naruto. How did you get these? Reserved like they are, these are worth quite a money to private collectors. However, they are worth even more as scrap gold. Turning back to Bagwell, Smith explained the current price of the golds. Right now the price is 1800 an ounce, and these Ryu coins are almost 100% pure gold. He turned back to Naruto. How many of these do you have, kid? As Naruto gestured to the bag that he has, Mr. Uzumaki, the bank teller, said. Of course he understands his name now perfectly because he realized how much Naruto had. We would only have a small amount to cover what you have right now for just cash. However, it will be enough to get yourself a place to live, and you can come back in a few days and open an account here. Is that agreeable? Naruto pretended to think on for a few minutes before he agreed. A few writing later and then 10,000 cash added into his hand. Naruto made his way towards a local diner to get something to eat. As Naruto walked and sat down in the bar-like thing in the middle, an older woman came over and handed him a menu, as she told him she'll be right with him. As Naruto looked through, there was nothing that he was quite familiar with. So what can I get you, young fellow, she said, coming back. As Naruto glanced up, well, I'm not really sure what to get, he said, giving her a kind smile. As she smiled back at him, new in town, she said, yes. I'm from Asia, kind of backwards area, so what's good? The woman's smile increased. I always want to visit Asia. Looks so beautiful. Well, do you like to eat healthy or do you like some sugar in the morning, she asked. It can be beautiful, said Naruto as he thought about back in Konoha in his prime. It's gone, Naruto, move forward, said Grandma. But yeah, I enjoy eating healthy and... Okay, occasionally, she said. Yes, said Naruto, smiling at her, forgetting the word for him. Yes, occasionally unhealthy, he said. As she left him a glass of water and took his menu, and told him that she'll be right back. Soon Naruto got a plate of what he learned was... waffles, bacon, grits, and also a biscuit. Keep eating like that and soon, you'll be as big as the Akamichis. All fat and tubby then. You won't have a chance with that blonde vixen you met the other day. Oh, shut up, said Naruto. You're just jealous that you can't enjoy these waffle things. Kurama laughed at his container changing mood as he went back to sleep, as the blonde did not deny meeting that other blonde once again. After getting filled up as Naruto paid with an overlarge tip, he made his way out. He was looking for a few places on the outskirts of town, with plenty of land. He never wanted his training to slack just in case, but at the same time he was not really jumping to fight. Hours of traveling, Naruto finally found a place. An old ranch that was gone into foreclosure. As Naruto pulled the flyer out to see who we need to contact. Shit, said Naruto. Let me guess, you have to go all the way back to the bank to deal with that man, don't you, said Kurama. Yeah, said Naruto. Hopefully will let me bite with the Ryu. And don't give me any shit about it, said Naruto. Well, if he does, just hit him with a dose of killer intent. He sure wouldn't want to piss off a rich person, especially one that can kill him. Is that all you think about? Death, said Naruto. Well, for a while, that was you as well, said Kurama. He took great joy in reminding Naruto what he was like through and after the war, especially through. He might not have been bloodthirsty, but Naruto knew how to kill in some creative ways. We are both monsters, but you just know how to hide yours better. Naruto snorted as he turned as he rushed off at immense speed. Once he got close to town, which only took him a short amount of time, he slowed down. No, I do not hide it. I just find out how to control it better. Plus, there's no point in having it anymore. A peaceful life does not need fighting. As Naruto headed to Bagwell office once again. Ah, Mr. Uzumaki. Welcome back. What can I assist you with? The man was being so jolly it made Naruto's sweat drop. I found the place I want to buy, and it was in foreclosure with this bank, said Naruto. As Naruto handed the flyer. As he then called out, Mrs. Branch, we have an inquiry for the purchase of the old ranch. Just before the Kents. Really? That place has been in foreclosure for years now. Bagwell nodded. Not that the woman could see him. Yes, Mrs. Blanche. And the gentleman here will be paying in cash. We just need you to bring the paperwork and the forms to get the utilities turned on. He then stopped and looked up towards Naruto. I take it that you'll be paying with those gold coins. Yeah, I was hoping I could get by with that, said Naruto. Oh, don't worry. It's quite understandable. Real estate can be quite tricky. However, we want this ranch all for our books, so we can get you. One heck of a deal, he said, as Naruto found the woman that is known as Missing Branch as she walked in. A few paperworks later, Naruto got papers to bring towards where the utility head office was. By lunchtime, he had a place to live. Utilities turned on and he was slowly making a footmark in this world. Once again, Naruto was hungry after a long day, as he kept his nose open to find anything that was good. He also found a furniture place, second hand, as he decided to step in before he went to get something to eat. Now, Naruto was not a stranger to second-hand furniture. Hell, his home would barely sell him third-hand furniture. And the stuff here was 400 times nicer than all the crap that he had. Figuring that he had time to come back, seeing that it was only midday, Naruto stepped out of the shop when his nose picked up something wonderful. As Naruto followed his nose, as he found himself in front of a cafe-like place. That is what it read. Cafe. As Naruto walked in, looking around. Hello. Naruto turned as a hostess spoke to him. Will it be just you dining today? Yeah, just me, said Naruto. She nodded before grabbing a menu and a roll of what Naruto guessed was silverware. She motioned for him to follow as Naruto went, as she had him settle down. As Naruto opened it, I wonder if this barbecue is like the kind back home, he wondered. As Naruto thought back to one of his friends and his undying love for a barbecue, he decided to honor Choji by getting a full pork sandwich with orange barbecue sauce. As a waiter walked up behind him and asked him what does he want. So Naruto showed him on the menu. As Naruto pronounced the word strange. As the man chuckled a bit, just a head up kid, it's barbecue, he said, thinking it in his mind and saying it in the outside world was two different things. As Naruto come to realize that, his mouth was still getting accustomed to understand the words properly how to form them. Did you want fries or mashed potatoes with that? What vegetables do you have, said Naruto. The waiter was taken aback, since someone so young was looking at vegetables instead of the potatoes. Well, we got broccoli with carrots or butter beans, he said. Butter beans? That sounds nasty, Naruto thought. Yeah, let's go with the broccoli with carrots. The waiter nodded as he said that he'll be back shortly. Glancing outside. Alright, said Naruto. This is seriously boring. I've been watching people for 2 days straight now. What do you expect in such a small town, said Grandma. This place is a small town, a quiet place. One that does not suit us. As Naruto took a drink from the water that the waiter left. You mean doesn't suit you? I just need a hobby to stop me from people watching. And I'll be fine, said Naruto. Why don't you go and join that Justice League that we read about? I'm sure that would be a nice hobby. Oh yeah, I'm sure the Justice League would love to have a trained assassin on their team. As the food was placed in front of him, with a thank you to the waiter, Naruto dug in, while continuing his mental conversation with Kurama. They're all about protecting the innocent and the weak. And what do you call what you did for Konoha? That actually stumped Naruto. For a long time he knew what shinobis were. Hired killers, thief, bodyguards, and soldiers. Most began to train at age 8 when they entered the academy. He, however, was not given that luxury. But he knew that as long as you were part of the village, you protected the civilians with their life. Just like how this Justice League protected the Earth. I guess it is the same thing, but would it be worth it, said Naruto. I'm afraid you will have to figure that one out, said Kurama. Naruto put it out of his mind for now as he continued to eat in silence. As Naruto finished up his meal and paid for everything, he then left, making his way towards his new home. Once he was out of sight of the people around, Naruto speed up, arriving in a few short minutes. As Naruto went inside and went in search of a circuit breaker, finding it was pretty easy as Naruto flipped it on. Everything lighted up. Let's get cracking, said Naruto as he started to unseal things. Chakra ink and brushes, security tags. Naruto created an army of clones as he created a second team to start to clean the place. As Naruto started to apply seals. This could be your hobby. What, said Naruto. Painting. Painting? Yes, you imbecile, painting. Why do you think that you, your mother, and your grandmother was so good with seals? Huh, I just thought it was a Uzumaki trait, said Naruto. Or some sort of Gekigenkai. You fool. Sealing is not a Gekigenkai. Sealing is calligraphy, mixed with chakra. Fair enough, said Naruto as he added the seal array. Heading back upstairs, Naruto saw that his clones were almost finished. He noted that he would need to pick up a new fridge, washer, dryer, and more furniture. As Naruto unsealed his futon and also clothing, as Naruto opened the rather large closet and placed it inside before he lay down. You can pass out on a roof from a migraine, yet you sleep in the closet in your own home. I had my sensor net up, and plus no one knew where I was on the roof, said Naruto. Now someone could find me and I'm not taking any chances, Naruto said. Kurama understand the reason why though. Why Naruto's being paranoid, so he let it go and allowed him to get some sleep. Flashback to the past. Please don't hurt me, a young boy said, as he ran as fast as he could away from the mob. I didn't do anything. However, he ran right into an alleyway. No way to go now, you demon spawn. It was then that it started as he was attacked. The beating that caused him to pass out. Naruto then woke up as he realized he was in a room. Confused, he glanced to the left and the right until he realized where he was as he slowly pulled himself up. As he got out and walked towards the living room. Arriving there, he saw a silver-haired man with a mask covering his face reading a book. Inu, he said. Why do they hate me, he asked. He walked over towards the child. They hate you because it's easier than to accept the pain. Why are they in pain, said Naruto, as he picked up Naruto and walked towards the couch. Because they lost someone important to them. A protector who gave his life for this village and his son's life. But why me? Why do they hate me? You told me already. My dad sealed a fox inside me to protect the village from some evil. But why do they hate me and my mom, said Naruto. He placed Naruto on the couch and grabbed a blanket. Use your hate to prove them wrong, Naruto. Show them that you're better than this. Show them that you can protect them even from themselves. Now good night and sleep well. As Naruto ended up falling asleep. Hours later, Naruto was woken up to a splash of water in the face. Naruto was no longer 5, now he was 8 years old. It's time to begin. That was all the warning that he got before he was attacked by the silver-haired man, none other than Kakashi Hatake. Naruto was wearing a face mask just like his sensei. Despite only being 8 years old, Naruto went on B-rank missions with his sensei, as both of them were in the forest of death doing survival practice. As Naruto would go to sleep and try to predict the attack coming, if he failed, they would spar. And they would spar until he passed out. Given how brutal his sensei was, well, that didn't take too long. Although, given that Naruto was 8, he was trying to prepare him for the world. Trying to make him as strong as possible, which, in the long terms, it helped out a lot. As for Naruto back in the present time, he woke up with a start, as he was covered in cold sweat. It's that dream again, said Kurama. Do you even have to ask, Naruto said. You need to meditate with natural chakra. It should help recede the dreams again. Balance you out, said Kurama. As Naruto nodded before he opened the closet, seeing that he was alone despite being able to sense that no one was out there, he picked himself up. As Naruto walked straight out to the backyard, before he sat down in a comfy position. Drawing in on what the toads of Mount Miyaboku taught him, Naruto breathed in and out. As Naruto was now always connected to the balance, his personality giving off one of light. Kurama was darkness, and the natural energy that he stored for Sage Mode was neutral, while he was a light. 3 parts of the puzzle, as it ended up reciting his memories of the past, which was really good for him as it left him in peace. As Naruto was able to draw the energy in, as he was able to store it in circle points, for later use if needs be. As the sun was just peeping up over the horizon, Naruto went inside and stripped off his clothing. Let's see what to wear today, he thought, as he went through his closet, as he found an Uzumaki shirt, with a symbol on it that is, black pants and sandals, as he went to freshen up. Once that was done, time to cash out big, said Naruto. Yes, but try not to spend it all in one day. It would be bothersome to take more of the packs there, Kurama said. Meanwhile, Kara had woken up very early that morning. Clark never told her how restless being a hero makes you. Sure, helping him out in Metropolis was one thing, but going from fighting a 100-foot robot that can shot nuclear fire to hanging out in a farm was 2 different things, and different in a large comparison. She knew that she needed some R&R, but damn it, she was bored. After helping Pop with the chores, she decided to head into town to go shopping. Hopefully she can run into that handsome guy once again. Hey Ma, she called. Mind if I borrow the truck and head into town, she said. That's not a problem, dearie. Just make sure that you're back for dinner, Martha called out, as she grabbed the truck keys before heading out. While she enjoyed life in Metropolis, Smallville had it beat at one thing. The morning sunrise as it bathed over the darkness. She found herself at utter peace. It was then that she noticed someone walking. It was a young man that she met. It's like another 5 miles into town. As she decided to offer him a ride, immediately Naruto's head snapped around as he felt something coming at him at high speeds. His hand lashed out towards his weapon that was hidden on him, but he noticed that it was one of those car things. As he took a breath, still holding on to the weapon, as the vehicle stopped right beside him, the driver rolled down the window. "Hey there, learn enough yet to understand me," she said. As Naruto smiled back, "I must thank you, miss," he said. As he spoke with a slight accent, "For your understanding of my gestures," he said. She was shocked though, staring at him. "Is there something on my face?" No, she said. "It's just, well, you didn't know how to speak English a day ago, but now you speak it so fluently, with barely an accent," she said. "Oh, I travel a lot, and I have a flair for languages." She nodded. "Well, the town is still a few miles in. You want a lift?" Naruto raised an eyebrow. "You aren't scared that I'm some crazy lunatic," he said. "Nah, they're more eccentric," she said. "Plus, I'm a big girl, I can take care of myself." As she took one of her arm off the steering wheel to flex her arm in a joking manner. As Naruto nodded as he walked and placed his back into the back before he opened the door and stepped in. "So," she said, "what brought you here?" As she tried to learn some more about the blonde. As Naruto tried to think of a good cover story to go with the one that he make up at the bank. "Change of scenery," he said. "Change of scenery from what?" she asked. "I'm moving a lot in Asia, doing a few odd jobs here and there. Just wanted a quiet place to call home." She saw that he became a bit sad. She decided to change the topic immediately. "Well, mister, there's nothing as quiet as little old Smallville. By the way, what's your name?" she said. "Oh," said Naruto, "I forgot. Where's my manners?" "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. It means maelstrom, not fish cake," he said. Laughing at his introduction, she introduced herself. "My name is Kara Kent." "It is nice to formally meet you, Kara-chan," he said. She didn't understand about the Chan part, but she just nodded. "So what are you heading to town for?" she asked him, as Naruto told her he bought the ranch a few miles back, and he was getting some stuff for the place. "So shopping then," she said, with a grin. "God love a man that does his own shopping," she thought to herself. "Yeah, but it's quite boring," said Naruto. "You have to compare prices and hope to get a good deal so you don't get ripped off." She giggled at his reaction. He may do his own shopping, but he still hates it, she thought, as she tried to convince him otherwise. "True, it can be," she said. "But when you find a thing that perks your interest, you can't help yourself. Clothes, shoes, swimsuits. Well, that's what I look for anyway." As Naruto laughed as he looked through the window at the cornfields passing by. "Unfortunately, that's not what I'm looking for today. I have to grab things for the house that need to be replaced and such." "Oh," she said. She didn't know a single person that enjoyed to shop for appliances. She no understand. "Well, don't worry too much," she said. "All the shops in the town take care of the residents. Don't want them to drive to another town to get what they sell. It will be bad for image." As she decided to stop questioning her passenger further. It didn't take long for them to reach the town. Arriving, Naruto gave her another bow. "Thanks for the ride, Kara-chan," he said. "Not a problem, Naruto. Hopefully we bump into each other again soon." The bank job was a tiring affair for Naruto. The whole paperwork thing was just getting on his nerve. But at least it was over. First stop was breakfast as he swung by that same place. As Naruto got a sausage omelette, the woman gave him the recommendation, as she had given him something pretty nice the other day, so he's not complaining. As Naruto paid with a card that he got from the bank. As Naruto arrived towards the furniture store, as he found a burnt orange couch, quickly moving towards the color, as he sat down to see if he would like it. Leaning back as Naruto felt the comfy furniture. "Hello, young man. Looking to buy some furniture today?" "Yep," said Naruto, "and I found my first piece." "Oh well, alright," he said. "Are you looking for anything else?" It didn't take long as Naruto had gotten a lot of things. A high coffee table, with stools instead of chairs. A few bookshelves. A few mirrors for different rooms. Simple stuff for a simple man, he told the attendant. As Naruto remembered that he couldn't just seal everything away in a scroll, so he asked about delivery. "Of course we do," the man said, as all they need was an extra cost and his address, and it would be at his porch. Naruto paid and left with a satisfied smile as he walked towards the appliance store. As the prices on the refrigerators did not make much sense to him, so he headed past them and headed towards the washers. Now these is what he was familiar with, as he grabbed one of the slits after picking one out. Thankfully there was someone there that could help him. As he asked for delivery, as he told him to just leave it on the porch. He had saw a general store when Kara had dropped him off earlier in the day. as he headed to the location. But before he could reach it though, his stomach started to growl. What time is it? As Naruto looked around until he saw a clock in a window store. It's 1 o'clock already, Naruto thought. Moving through town, Naruto found a small Asian place that actually served ramen. He ordered 30 bowls. The woman was shocked, but she did laugh. Ramen, 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 Naruto thought. Finally going to have the food of the gods. Shut the hell up, you're annoying me. Oh, be quiet, said Naruto. You're just jealous because of the awesomeness that is ramen. The fox remained silent. The first bowl arrived shortly as Naruto dug in with gusto. The woman's eyes widened in shock as she rushed back to the kitchen, telling him to put a quick movement on the other bowls. After 30 bowls done, Naruto was finally full as he paid, leaving a shocked woman there as she still couldn't believe it. As he exited the store, he saw Kara outside as she was looking towards the table with all the bowls. Wow, she said. You didn't able to see who eat all of that, did you? She asked. Oh, that? Oh, it was me, said Naruto. You? Yeah. I kind of have this thing with ramen, said Naruto. You can call it a small obsession. Oh, that is way more than a small obsession, she said. As Naruto shrugged his shoulders, before he started to walk as he realized she was following him. Any reason why you're following me? She blushed as she realized that she was actually following him. Well, I got nothing better to do, she said. Plus, you seem like you could use some company. As Naruto simply smiled and thanked her. So what was in your backpack? It seems like it lost a lot of weight, she said. Yeah, said Naruto. You got some pretty sharp eyes to spot that. She nodded, letting him continue. Well, certain part of Asia use gold as currency, so I was just turning it all into spending cash. Really? Some people still use gold for currency, she said. She was quite surprised considering that some people still try to steal it time to time. Yeah, backwater places from what I can tell, said Naruto. As they reached the general store, as Naruto grabbed one of the carts, as they started to grab things that he needed, which was pretty much everything, it did not take long for him to fill the cart. That was until they stopped at the instant ramen aisle. As Naruto's face got dead serious, as she paused wondering what was the change in personality. Kara-chan, he said. Please wash my cart, I'll be right back. She nodded her head slowly as she stared towards the cart. As she watched him, the look on his face. Huh, he really does love ramen. Naruto returned another cart. She watched as he swept the aisles. Holy crap, Naruto, she said. Not gonna leave a single one for anyone else. Let's not dwell on that, said Naruto. Let's move forward and check out more ramen. As she followed behind him, laughing at his antics. When they finally arrived. Hello, dears. Oh, Kara, how are you? The clerk said. I'm good, Mrs. Cloverfield. How about you? Just fine, dearie. You and your boyfriend doing some shopping together. Kara immediately blushed. No, it's not like that, ma'am, she said. Just helping out someone that is new in town. As Naruto saw how little embarrassment creeped on her face, so he gripped his chest. Oh, by the gods, I have been wounded. The precious Kara-chan has rejected my advances, said Naruto as he dropped to the ground, rolling in pain. She got rather embarrassed as the clerk looked towards them, as she kicked him with her foot. Stop embarrassing me, she said. I'm being nice and helping you, she said. As Mrs. Cloverfield chuckled at their antics until she noticed the other cart. Sweetie, she said. You do know that you have an entire cart filled with ramen, right? Is there a problem with that, said Naruto. She shook her head in the negative. No, I was just checking, she said. Once she was able to check how much ramen he had and she added into the total. The total is $1,000. How much of that is a ramen? Kara said. 700. As Naruto pulled out his bank card and swiped it. It's a small price to pay for heaven. She shook her head at Naruto's love for the noodles as they made their way outside. Well, thanks for the help, Kara-chan. But I need to get all this stuff home, said Naruto as he was leaving with both of the carts. You do know that you're not allowed to leave with the carts, right? Naruto stopped. But how am I to get these things home then? Well, if you wait a few more minutes, I can grab my folks' truck and you can put it in the back, she said. Naruto almost thought that he had to leave everything behind, but now he didn't. In an instant, she was wrapped up in a tight hug. It's like you've been sent down from the heavens to help me get the foods of the gods, said Naruto. While she enjoyed the hug, she had been embarrassed enough for one day as she punched him on the head. Enough, she said. Try not to embarrass me any further, I'll be back in a few minutes. I make no promises, said Naruto as he lay on the ground. Really? Said Grandma. What is with you and crushing on freakishly strong women? Hey, she's not freakishly strong, said Naruto. And what do you mean crushing on her? 1. She was holding back both times she hit you. 2. Let's list the amount of women that you've had a crush on. First, your teammate. The Hokage when you first met her. That maid chick. And that big-breasted girl, Samui. Just because I enjoy my time with them, it doesn't mean I'm crushing on them, said Naruto. You know, you're right. As Naruto remembered as she tried to hit him, he was analyzing everything despite him being aloof. He saw her muscles straining to reduce force. Maybe she was stronger than he thought. Gotta admit though, said Naruto as he flipped up. She's really gorgeous. As she came back with a truck, she helped him load all the stuff in the back. Once Naruto was dropped off, she asked if he needed anything, but he told her that he was good. So she said her goodbyes as she headed off down the road towards the Kent farm. Arriving home, she headed home to a nice homemade dinner. Welcome back, Kara, Martha said. Had fun shopping for yourself? Yeah, I did, she said, setting the bags down. I got some cute new outfits. As Martha smiled at her before she called Jonathan in for dinner. Dinner itself was a short affair, as she left Naruto out of it. Until she got her room though and called Barbara. Hey Kara, what's up? Naruto Uzumaki, Kara said. Huh? What's that? The guy I told you about, that's his name. Naruto Uzumaki. Oh, guess he learned enough English to give his name then. More than that, he already has a flair for languages. He can speak more than enough good English already. In 2 days? I'm impressed, said Barbara, as she talked about her second meeting, about his ramen addiction. Sounds like someone has a crush. I do not, he's just nice, attractive, funny, and interesting. I hate you, said Kara, as Barbara started to laugh. Once she stopped laughing though, the subject was moved from her. With no bad signal in sight, they talked through the night about random things. Back at Naruto's place, you know, for a week, human technique, it does have its uses, said Cram as Naruto clones put everything away. As Naruto was busy slurping down some ramen, thankfully the way the appliances hooked up was the same for they did in his world. As Naruto sealed more things out, photographs of his past life. His godfather, as this one was taken after the both of them got captured after peeping into the hot spring. They both had a black eye and a busted lip, as that brought a smile to Naruto's face. There was a picture of the third and him when he was younger before the man passed away. As Naruto sat in the man's lap wearing the Hokage hat, Hiruzen was holding his pipe smiling at Naruto. A picture with him and Tsunade. Once he convinced her to come back to the village, she became like a real grandmother to him. The last one though, as he saw himself with his face mask. Sakura and Sasuke having smile of triumphant on their faces, Kakashi behind them. It took a while, but we were finally able to work as a team, said Naruto. Well, you did recently get a demotion and you had to do those stupid D ranks until your team came up on Zabuza. Yeah, the D ranks pretty much suck, said Naruto, but this is when we truly became a team. Kurama snorted, knowing that it was a catalyst, Naruto's past, the worst part, but he did not say anything about it, knowing that his container was only focused on a happy memory right now. So, have you figured out what we're gonna be doing yet? Oh yeah, said Naruto. I figured that we can turn this farm into something. Also maybe sell the manuscripts for Ichi series. Do you even know how to farm, Kurama asked. No clue, said Naruto, but I'm sure there's books on it somewhere. And there's always that internet, so yeah, I think I'm gonna learn a lot about that. Just remember, knowing how to do something is different from actually doing it. Or need I remind you of the incident with the Rasengan when you were first learning it? As Naruto eye twitched at that. Bite me, he said. Time skip. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm still not close enough to grow anything. I don't even know what to grow, Naruto grumbled in his mind, as he had many books checked out. He had information on the laptop, and used thoughts standing in his store will help, said Kurama, as Naruto was currently standing in Feed and Seed, Smallville, farming equipment shop. Yeah, I've always been a more practical learner. I figure I'll just wing it, said Naruto. That's a terrible idea. The last time you tried to wing something you almost got your client killed. Oh shut it, said Naruto. Like 90% of my plans are winging it. As Naruto picked up another seed packet as he read it. About halfway through he felt someone approaching him. Turning he saw an older man. A bit shorter than him, wearing blue, overalls, and a wicker farmer hat. So you're the new guy the towns be buzzing about, he said, walking towards Naruto, with a full cart. Why are they buzzing about me? Naruto asks. Well, it's not every day someone shows up with a few $100,000 of gold, buys a ranch with a goal and turns it into a farm. Yeah, not one of my brightest ideas. I have no idea what to do, said Naruto. You bought a farm with no idea how to run one, the man said. Yeah, pretty much, said Naruto. Why on earth would you do that, said Junten. Wonder if this guy was crazy. I wanted a change of pace, figuring that this would be a good one, said Naruto. As Naruto turned butt, Jonathan placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder as Naruto tensed, but he calmed himself from doing anything rash. Jonathan did not know how close he was to getting his hand chopped off. Well kid, my name is Jonathan Kent. I'm a third-generation farmer and I've been doing it all my life. If you need any help, I would be more than happy to assist you. Naruto turned towards the man. I don't feel any negative emotions coming from him. Nor do I feel any chakra at all. Barely. I will appreciate that very much, Jonten-sensei, said Naruto. Sensei? Jonten said confused. Yeah, said Naruto. It means teacher. As the man chuckled. Fair enough, kid. You know what you want to grow yet? Well, not a clue, said Naruto. Like I said, it's my first time. You're really in it deep, aren't you? Said Jonten as he laughed, as Naruto nodded. Well, we're pretty much known for our corn, and it's fairly easy to grow. So why don't we start there? By the way, hope you don't have a limit on your card, kid. Things are gonna be expensive today. As Naruto laughed nervously following the old man. What the hell did I get myself into? Meanwhile, they were walking. As Martha was walking with Kara. Oh, Kara dear. Don't be depressed. I'm not depressed, Ma. As she grabbed a few things from the shelf. I'm just restless. That's all. My first assignment was a while ago, and I'm ready to be done with the R&R and get back into the action. Well, we are happy for any excuse to keep you around. But today you seem a bit mopey, Martha said. Ma, I think you're becoming senile. I'm the same, I always am. They arrived at the checkout lane, as Mrs. Cloverfield was working today. Well, good afternoon, Martha. Kara. Ah, Bridget, said Martha. How have you been? We haven't had a chance to talk lately, with Kara here, stealing a Chuck every chance she gets to come into town. I am beginning to think that she wants to go live with Clark in Metropolis. Just leave the two old people to themselves. Oh, Ma. I'm not gonna leave you alone. Plus, there's no way I'm gonna live with Clark. I won't be able to do anything again. Both of them giggle at Clark overprotectiveness. Or perhaps she is here for the same reason why she keeps on coming downtown, said Bridget. As that caught the ladies' attention, especially Martha. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mrs. Cloverfield, said Kara, with a nervous laugh. So, Bridget, what has my niece been up to then? She's been stalking the new guy in town, said Mrs. Cloverfield, humor in her eyes. New guy? Said Mark as she looked towards Kara. Oh, I'm sure Jonathan's getting an earful about him. In Seed and Feed. He showed up about 2 weeks ago. I heard from Everland Branch that he bought that old ranch. She said he had a few $100,000 of gold. Both women and I went wide at that, as Kara never knew that it was that much. According to Leanne Young from the library, he's trying to turn the old ranch into a farm. He stops in repeatedly to check out any book he can get his hands on about farming. Good to know some youngsters have a good head on their shoulders. But how does Kara come into this? Well, she was helping him grocery shop for the first time, and she's run into him at the library quite a few times since then. Oh really, said Martha. Thanks for sharing, Bridget. Kara, lowered up the truck. I'm going to go and find Pa. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Cloverfield. I appreciate it so much, she said in a sarcastic tone, as she dragged out the cart, as Bridget just laughed. As Martha made her way to find her husband, unaware that she was about to run into the same guy that Kara seemed to have a little crush on. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to be posted. Bye, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.